Hello and welcome to our Monday ah show of addiction recovery, hope, and resources. I'm joined by my guest today, Aaron, and hi, Aaron.
Hi.
We'll get to you in a second. I just
All right.
wanted to let everyone know we're here 3 o'clock a Monday, like clockwork, on time, never late, because that's what recovering addicts do. But Aaron, I've met him a bunch of times throughout the recovery community and with a bunch of people, and we've always been like, we have this thing together, but we've never like really went to lunch or anything. But we have a friendship that is just there from being in recovery, and so it's been really cool to watch him grow, and he's watched me a little bit, and I got up the guts to ask him to come on the show, and he willingly said, okay, I'll do it. And that's what's cool about most of the guests I asked to come on. Like almost every one of them have no problem. They want to help someone, which is cool. But we're going to get into Aaron's story, and he's going to let us know where he's been. He's going to start wherever he wants, and we're going to let him go. And I also want to get somewhere in the end of this, talk about the recovery center he works at. I mean, how cool is that? To someone that changes their lives wanted to take a pay cut, really, and go and help others, which is really cool and admirable, and he loves doing it, and so I admire him for that. And Aaron, take it away.
Thank you, Heston. So I'll start with a little bit of my history. My journey started probably back November 4th, 2015. I was actually attending school here. Decided that it was a great idea not to go to school and to participate in drugs, and my probation officer arrested me. From there, I went to purgatory, was sentenced to 6 months incarceration, and I had a choice then to make. It was either to change my life, or it was to do the same thing I'd done over and over, because I knew purgatory well. I'd done several years there. And so I took upon myself to take a look at what was wrong and what I could fix, and I changed a lot of my association in there. I changed how I thought, what I read, what I put into my mind. And then I got out and was given the opportunity of drug court. Well, when I walked out, I walked out with nothing. I had a pair of clothes. I didn't have no ID, nothing. And so it was crazy, because I had a tracker. Like, I got out that day and I was released. I had a tracker, and I had to report to them, and I had to have a place, and I was going to Switch Point, and I couldn't even get into Switch Point that night. And so my first night, I got to sleep on a bench down there past Switch Point at the park, and was terrified. Like, I couldn't call in. I was just worried that freaking out, mind tripping.
Yeah.
But next day I got into Switch Point, and through the help of some good people there, Carol Howell and Sherry Dominguez, like, great, they're just assets. And Tui, we started the process, and so got in there, and they told me about a program, over at Workforce Services. Yeah. And so I got into there, and Paula Ferreira helped me build a resume, helped me work on that, and get some skills developed in how to interview and stuff like that, because it had been a long time. Like, I wasn't out getting a job before. I was out selling drugs, like trying to go to school. I didn't need to apply for anything. And of course, with me, I knew everything. So who's going to tell me how to get a job? But
I know if you were like me, that doing stuff like that would have made me run back to drugs.
Right.
I don't want to fill out any paperwork. I don't want to make a phone call. Don't ask me. I'll freak out.
Right.
But you learned how to do that.
Yep. And so from there, started the process of looking for work, and it got to the point where, I got the skills and I got the resume, and I was trying to be an electrician because I'd done it in the past, so I couldn't find a job. Like, I had to find someone who would sponsor me in order to get a job, and I couldn't find it. I was going to BioLife, selling my plasma to survive, and just, getting frustrated. And it was crazy. I'm walking back up the street, headed to Switch Point, and there's Carps Plus.
Yeah.
I said, screw it.
It's right out by there.
Yep. Can't hurt. So I walk in and walk right in and meet Joe Gibbons. And within 60 seconds, I was hired. And I thank that man to this day for the opportunity there, because he changed my life. Like, he looked at me and didn't have to give me nothing, and he gave me an opportunity. And from there, I got to grow and learn how to be a responsible person in society again. Like, I hadn't worked a full-time job in over probably 5 years. Like, showing up every day to work. I didn't have a car. I was walking to work. I was making sure I got to drug court for all my requirements there, and doing what I needed to. But the opportunity was there to do it, and I took it, and I ran hard, because I knew if I was going to survive, I had to work as hard in my life as I did in my addiction, in my recovery, in all senses. And so I went from there. Started working there. Started participating in a lot of activities in the community. Went through Addicts to Athletes.
Which is another resource.
Yes, it is. Great program. Great way to get in and do some activities that are not normal and athletic, and a way to give back and participate and give that service there.
And stay healthy.
Yeah, and that also created the opportunity of a softball team, which we'll get down the road a little bit more, and we'll talk about that. But
that's where I see you more than not.
Right? Yeah, I'm on the
Sorry
field.
for interrupting so
No,
much.
You're fine. And so got through drug court. Graduated. First thing I completed in my life. I got failed probation all my life. Never succeeded at that. I went to prison. And everything, and I never managed to succeed there. I did. I graduated, and I got the opportunity to go forward in life. And I was still holding the same job. First time I had held the same job for 2 years. Successfully completed something like this is weird. What's going on here? I did something right. Got the chance to get my life back together. I got my kids back in my life. The part I missed is that I lost my kids to DCFS custody, and they were taken away. Yeah. It was a struggle. I got to see my kids maybe 3 times out of the almost the year they were gone until they got back down here, and was with a family located down locally. And then I got to get back involved with them and really just come back to being a dad. And I got to pay my child support. Like, that was big. Like, who pays their child support? I'm not going to. I avoid it at all costs. Let me get a job that pays on the table so I don't have to.
Prove that I make any money.
Right.
Running away from it.
Yeah.
And now you're happy to do that.
Right.
That's what I love about an addict in recovery. We're happy to, I got these things, like people that are in the church that I'm related to, they were given houses to go and visit people, and I got to do that, and that was my funnest time of the whole week. And most people hated doing it,
Mm-hmm.
but it was something that I loved, just like you. You were excited to pay bills, and
and to be responsible like that was weird. Just to be able to say I paid it, I did it, and know that it came out and you're going to be all right. And there was a long time that I would question that. I'd sit down and I can look back and know that it never changed, and my higher power was there for me. I'll say that. I'd go through the week and how am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay that? How am I going to get through this? How am I going to get this place? How am I going to take care of life? Never since the day that I chose to get into recovery and chose to change my life have I ever had to say that I didn't have all the money I needed, that I didn't have all the things I needed, and everything worked out just the way it was supposed to be. And I'll always say this: I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. Yeah. Not so much in the sense of I have a schedule, but God put me exactly where I needed to be.
I love it. And that reminds me of what I've been thinking. I've had the chills most of the time you've been talking because it's such an inspiring story. But when you're doing the right things, you're putting one foot in front of the other, doors open. Mm-hmm. No matter, some days you're going to feel like the doors closed, slammed in your face, but you got through those days and doors opened. Mm-hmm. People started trusting you. You were proven, and you had paid your debt to society, really, and doors will open. Mm-hmm. There's hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's it's funny because I did an application, or I forget what it was. I was doing I think it was applying for Weber State is what it was, and so I had to write a paragraph on why I should be accepted. And I told him because I got 2 bank accounts and a credit card, that was big for me.
That's right.
I didn't have none of that. Who's going to give me $1? You know, and I had the opportunity to get that. Like responsibility gave me that. I wish I didn't have it now because it's maxed out and we got things to work on. But I'll get through that. I get the opportunity to have that blessing. Where I didn't before. It was okay. Where am I going to pay $3, $5, $7 to get a check cashed? Mm-hmm. And it was a struggle.
Exactly.
Right. And
remember that.
Who's going to give me a check?
You go to the bank that was that the check was from. Right. You'd go to if it was from that bank, you had to go to there so they clear it. Because I didn't have a bank either.
Right. I hope my ID hadn't expired because I didn't bother to look at it.
Right. It's true.
I sure didn't have a license.
Right.
And so getting back to it, Carpets Plus is a massive thing for me. It taught me leadership skills, taught me development, taught me how to work with people. And not only that, I got to bring the people that were in drug court with me, got the opportunity to come work with me, and we got to make a difference and show people that we really cared about our lives and our future and doing the right thing and doing a good, awesome job at what we did, And so that was the great opportunity there. And through that, small things for me where, I got a car. I never owned a car. I'd never had a job for 2 years that I could say that I knew. I worked until they laid me off and I went another job. Yeah. Had a job for 2 years. I had a car. I had, the simple basic things in life that you don't expect people to get.
Yeah.
And so through there we started in Addicts to Athletes. We'll get into that fun part.
Yeah.
And we started a softball team.
Yeah.
First season we went and played, and we had some great people. Still got some of those people on our team today, and we lost every single game. Like we were done. We'd had enough. Man, we ain't playing no more. You know our feelings, those things that come out and start to swell up.
Competition.
Yeah.
Ego.
All right.
Yeah.
And so we started that team, and then we didn't like I said, we didn't win. We came back the next season, and we played again.
Yeah.
And we won a couple games. And we came back another season, and we played again, and we won some more games. And then our team got the opportunity, shout out to the old brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? Got the chance to turn into the team that we have today.
Good team.
And yes, it is. And the people that play on it, I love to death. They are my brothers, and we stand for something that's beautiful. And that's a circle of friendship, brotherhood, and love.
Yeah.
And we fight for every day for our recovery, and we fight every day to be an example in the community. And I'm great to be a participant of that. And I'm not gonna say we play sixth in the tournament. We go on to play tonight, and I hope we knock it out of the park. You know.
Yeah.
And if we don't, you know what? We're all gonna stand there. We're gonna love each other and have a great time.
What I think is cool is that I have played on a team for the last 4 or 5 years. I keep saying I'm gonna retire every year, but I love one pitch. I just do 30-minute games. You're out. But I played against you guys, and we finished in the bottom division, so we don't even get to play you guys in the tournament because you guys finished in the upper division. You guys won more games than us.
Yeah, I think we got that W on you. I think that happened.
Yeah, I think so. The last play of the game with 2 outs or something.
Hey, there's a few people on there that glad we could whoop old Ron Ritchie a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so and you guys, when playing against you, you guys, even when it was going bad, you guys are happy. Mm-hmm. That's what I love about addicts in recovery. They're just happy to be out there and alive. Just for today.
Yeah. And so, going forward, I want to say this. When I look back at it, for those people out there who are struggling, who are having a hard time, trust the process. Like someone tells you go to Switch Point, put your head down, swallow your ego, go to Switch Point. Let them do their magic. Like they fed me, they nourished me, they gave me the resources I needed so I could find a job. They gave me the resources I needed so I could rest at night and sleep and not have to worry about whether I was gonna be cold or not. They gave me the ability to fill my belly. And then they gave me the option and the resources.
A roof over your head.
Yeah, to have clothes.
They gave you a bus pass.
Gave me a bus pass so I could go find that job, so I could get that opportunity.
Yeah.
And it's nothing, like I always say, there's nothing easy about it. There's always going to be that temptation of life and that temptation of seduction of anything there. But if you put your head down and you know where your heart's going and you stay true to that, then I guarantee you'll get through it and it'll work. There's great people there, and even in the process of, for those people who are at Switch Point or at drug court, trust that process. Like that saved my life. You weren't going to tell me what to do in life. Like nobody was. I wasn't going to trust a cop. I wasn't going to trust a judge. Like, I go to jail when I see cops and I see a judge. Like, why am I going to show up every week and tell you how I'm doing? Well, I don't even want to stand up, but I did, and I was able to get that opportunity, and there's some great people over there. Jen Jones, Mandy Kranick, just my counselor Stephanie Volker. She saved my life. She really dug deep, and she's in the recovery community.
They're in it because they love people.
Yes,
they ain't in it for a lot of money.
No,
they're in it because they want to help.
They are,
and there's help out there.
And I can say that they saved my life.
Yeah.
They sat down and Lisa Goodman. I got to pull that lady out there because she did some miracles with me too. And it was great. Just the opportunity to see people that for me the example is when I see an example I want to follow it, and they're the example. Like they've got the time that's needed to see that it's possible. They've got the resources that show you that holy crap I can do this. Like they helped me to get the license, the Social Security card and stuff like that, so I could move forward.
What's cool is a lot of them have been where you were, so they're like, hey, you listen more when they've been there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so, there was that opportunity. And I want to give a shout out to Sergeant Bowen. Like, that man is an ace in the hole. And there's so many people intimidated by him, but he brings a humility to people. No, he brings a passion to the desire to be helping people. Like at the end of the day, he's a tough nut. Like he'll give you crap. He won't let you get away with anything. But he'll in that holding you accountable, he saves your life
for the better.
Yes, and he really does. And it's amazing to be able to work with him. And as I graduated drug court, I went on to work in the mentor program for some time.
Yeah.
And what a great program. Like, you get to go in and you get to first be part of the process. And then you get to learn how to be part of the solution of helping others through it. And so when you get in the mentor, you can mentor the people going through drug court and give them the opportunity to learn the resources they need on how to get through this process. And all you do is share your experience and show them, like, you never know how much picking someone up and giving them a ride can change their life. You never know how much taking them to get a cup of coffee, how much buying them something to eat. Like, do something that you wouldn't expect anybody to do, or just do the next right thing,
Next right thing. I love
it. and it changes it. It changes the world. Like, one of the best things, and it's a little off subject, but one of the best things I ever hear is the person that pays for Starbucks ahead of you. And then you come up to get your Starbucks. I love those
stories.
And it's like, what? And you can't get them. You can't thank them. They're gone.
Yeah. And then you pay for the person behind you.
Yep. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And that's what it is in recovery. You just give that back. You give that opportunity back to, hey, somebody cares,
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And that's what I love about it, so back to, the mentor program was a great foundation, great thing to learn, a great thing for me in my life. I'll never, ever have anything but the greatest, most utmost love for those people and what they do. And it's a blessing. And I also, let's see, we've pretty much covered. Yeah. I lost train of thought.
You're all right. Yeah. That's my story of my life, ADHD. Hey, jump into what you're doing in life.
So today, there's the thank you. My big belief is full circle.
Yeah.
My circle started here at the college. Like, the day before I was supposed to be at school, got arrested. My journey went to purgatory. My journey went to switch point. My journey went to drug court. My journey went to
Carpets Plus.
Carpets Plus. My journey continued on, and in my circle, I've been able to come full circle, and now I'm actually a employee in the recovery community. I get to go into purgatory and take a meeting in there that's beyond words.
At Lionsgate?
Not at Lionsgate, through a fellowship, but I get to go in there, and so that's my way of giving back, because I was sitting there that one day when I needed to hear something that changed my life, and I got the opportunity.
I went to purgatory for 3.5 years, and it was the best 3.5 years of my life. I wish I could get back in there.
Right.
But
it's beautiful.
Not on the cards right now.
So today I get to I work as a tech out at Lionsgate Residential, and I get to work with some great people out there, great staff. There's some aces in the game that are out there working as techs and working as just people as the counselors, as the medical staff, as the case managers. Lionsgate all the way around is phenomenal. Like, when I walk in that building, I'm awed by some of the people that work there. I'll never hesitate to say Aaron Ward is one of the game changers of the whole community, and when it comes to recovery, and my hat's off to him. Like, I always want to pick his brain. I never get the opportunity, but like, I want to know what you know. And there's Josh Campbell, like, just a great guy, just great. He's on my team.
They all went in together and just about a year ago they changed ownership.
Yeah,
about that.
Yep, and they've done some remarkable things.
I've heard
in
great
that period
things.
of time. And I got to send a shout out to that guy Chad Brandon. I don't know him very well, but I hear he's a great guy out there. Doing some things. Like, he's really a great person that changes lives.
Isn't he your plant?
Yeah, that's my plant. If you guys check that out, he's been watering me and feeding me for a while now. So, and Kelly Clough there, he's a great man. I got to meet him. We got to play in a golf tournament for fall conference.
Yeah,
got a chance to get to know him and meet him, and just great people there, just changing lives.
Tell me this. Let me turn it a little bit, or maybe you were going somewhere else, but we'll get back there. We got 10 minutes.
All right.
I want to know, someone's broken. They are looking for a recovery center. They call up, or have a family member call up Lionsgate. Tell me the process.
For me, the process that I know would be to put them in front of put them in front of Chad, put them in front of Kelly, let them get in there and get that process built, and that establish that understanding of what's going on, where they're at, and where they need help. To give them that option of hope, to show them that it's possible to get the resources they need or the treatment they need. So the biggest thing is denial on where you're really at. Like, it's not only the person, but also maybe the wife, the husband, the parents, the all the way around.
It's
they
a
don't
family
wanna,
disease.
Yeah, they don't want to look at it. They do want to look at it, but they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And these people are do it day in and day out, like hands down. I mean, I've seen them at 8 to 9 o'clock at night, just working the phone, working the process.
And they're gonna love you. They're not gonna be
Yeah.
mad at you. It's gonna be a loving meeting.
Yeah, and just providing that option, and when you get there and you can establish that you need some help. There's residential, and that's a 30 to 45 day process where you can get in there and get some. You can get detoxed, or you can get the basis of what's going on and start a foundation. And then after that, you can go into day treatment, and it provides the option for a little over around 4 months, a little more over. They give you the adaptation back into life.
Yeah.
So you're not quite transitioned into fully.
Are they helping you
life.
learn how to get jobs or communicate?
Learning how to get that life skill, how to kind of give you a little bit of I'll say a leash.
Yeah.
To kind of get on your own and understand, but also there to support
need
you
it.
and hold you accountable and keep you healthy as you transition into becoming back into not so much normal, but into society. It's not
There's
easy.
No normal.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If you find that, let me know, because I
Yeah.
want to see what that looks like, because I ain't never seen it. And I don't want to.
Right.
But then there's outpatient. After that, if you get that process, you go outpatient, and then even after you're done there's an alumni program that's really great that people come into that help those that are going through the process. There's a solution there, and the biggest thing for me, I feel, is you get that person in there who's just desperate, and when they want it, you can give it to them, and you can give them. The greatest thing I see at work every day for me is when the light comes on.
Yeah.
And for those of you out there, you know what it means. You know what it is. Like, they come in broke, and they come in lost, and they're just trying to adapt, and they don't want none. They don't want none of it. They wish they weren't there.
Everything about their thinking is wrong, but you can't tell them their thinking is wrong.
Right. And then it's just a week or two in, and it clicks, and you just see this glow, and you see the light, and you hear the laughter, and you watch the tears, like cry. And they look at me like, what? Like, cry. Go ahead and cry. Go ahead and laugh. Laugh till it hurts. Laugh till you fall apart. Cry till you can't no more. Because after that, it's okay.
Yep.
Like, it's okay. The light's on.
It's okay
you
to have
see it.
emotions.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is for me, that was I couldn't play soft. I couldn't be a human being.
Yeah.
I had to be tough. I had to be what I called hard. I don't cry. Bull crap. I was crying before I came on the show today. I am man enough today to say, hey, check it out. I'm real. And I don't mind it. But when it comes to those people, it's just the opportunity. And I don't do a lot. Like, I share my experience. Like,
you do a lot. You just ain't going to be able to. You ain't going to be the one that tells us you do a lot.
I show up, and I give that opportunity to say, hey, 3 years ago, I was sitting on a bunk in purgatory.
Yeah.
And I'm here to help you today.
Yep.
Like, when I say that, like, what? Like, am I supposed to be here? Did you guys not look at my record?
Yeah, right. Isn't it cool to look back on it and see what you've come? But the first little while, you can't really. Other people see your changes in you, but you don't see them as much as everyone else does. Mm-hmm. And so it's cool to have good people around you saying, dude, you've moved mountains in 2 months. Mm-hmm. You've moved mountains in 3 months. Are you kidding me? Why are you down on yourself? You're killing it at 6 months.
Right.
And then you start to look back and say, I did this, and I did this. And I'd pick one thing a day, or one thing, a goal, a small goal. I didn't pick 50 goals. I picked one and I finished it. Then I picked another and I finished it. And it was cool the way I got to learn how to live. Mm-hmm. So I've been out to Lionsgate. It's like, I've seen up to 12 people or 10 people in there, and maybe more now since new ownership, but it's a beautiful house.
Yeah.
You get to live under a beautiful roof. You've got an acre of land with a little stream running through it, mm-hmm. and you can get your peace and get out of that crazy, insane way of thinking. In Tokerville, just beautiful scenery. So anyone out there needing help, give them a call. See if you're a right fit for them. If you're not a right fit, they're going to tell you where you're going to fit, where they think you're going to fit.
And that's the greatest thing is there's no like we're not out there to say come here. We're saying we want to help you, and we'll help you any way we can. If you don't fit, we'll find a spot for you. We got enough resources in this community and enough people that care that if it's not right, it's not right. Let's find what's right, because at the end of the day, we're in the business of saving lives. Yeah. And whatever that takes, it takes, and that's the blessing of it, because we have the option today to do it where they used to not be there. Like if I had looked back and when I first got here in '98, there was no idea of recovery or treatment or anything like that I knew of. But then again, I wasn't ready to even look at that. So, today I can say that there's so many resources out there with the right people in the right place to help you with that and help you get what you need. And the biggest thing is you just got to want it. And if you don't want it, just give it a try. And I can say by my experience that it works.
It works.
It truly works. And
I think I saw the coolest thing on Lionsgate Facebook today. It was a quote, and it's one that I am a firm believer in, and nothing's going to change unless you do the action. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the quote is. I'm not going to look it up right now, but it is basically saying there's action involved. You can think about doing whatever you want, but until you actually put in the action and the work, then things are going to change.
Yep.
And I love that. It was really cool. That was really cool. So if I'm correct, from watching a little bit of the Facebook war between you and your buddy Ty Empey, you lost $20 yesterday on the game, Philadelphia, Dallas.
Well, I
hit a soft spot?
I have a program of honesty, so I got to put it out. I lost $120.
Oh, we're not going to make that same mistake.
Right, yeah. So I'll throw it out there. I put a bet this year to a friend of mine at Carbons Plus that works there. I said, hey, check it out. We're going to beat you guys so bad that I'm going to bet you $50 a game when the Eagles play the Cowboys, and then I'm going to win $150 because we're going to go to the playoffs and beat you there too.
Oh, great.
So needless to say, they've beat us twice this year. I owe $100 to that guy and old Lawrence. I'll be seeing him tonight. And I'm just going to tell you now, Lawrence, you're going to have to come collect, brother, because I ain't paying.
I'm going to hide from you like I did in my addiction. That's funny. No, they were both on this show, so I had to give you a little heat.
Yeah.
What, Aaron, give me your 3 minutes of closing to what could you say to someone that finish with some heartfelt emotion of what can someone do if they want recovery? What did you do?
Biggest thing I ever did was surrender. I had to realize it wasn't working. And I had to be homeless in order to figure that out. I had to want to kill myself in order to figure that out.
Yeah, you were on a mountain.
Yeah, and that's, there's that story that, years ago I was sitting up on top of Dixie Rock and I was going to jump and kill myself. And I couldn't see the answer. The answer was behind me, not in front of me. It was not in front of me, it was behind me. I walked down off that hill. And I went to go to Maverick, and the lady gave me some food to eat because I didn't have no money. And then I was arrested right after that, and my life was saved. It started to change from then. But it was, like I said, when you couldn't see what was the answer, 3 months later, the answer was I started attending college at Dixie State University. And if you look behind where I was standing by the police station, there's a D right behind me. So I couldn't see the big picture. I was just focused on one thing. And I was in pain and I was hurting and I didn't want to go on anymore. I felt like a failure, and I had to surrender. I had to realize that I didn't know what to do and I didn't know what the answer was, and I had to trust somebody else. And for a long time in my life, I didn't have any trust in anybody. Couldn't trust myself. Why would I trust anybody else? And then when I finally realized that if I just trust somebody and trust my higher power, and the biggest word I'll ever have in my life is believe. I started to believe.
Hope.
And that's what changed it all. Like I will sell that till the day I die. Just believe, and I'll tell people I believe in you. I don't care if I know you or not.
Yep.
I'll give you a hug and tell you I believe in you.
Because you were that person.
Yeah.
That's what's cool.
Yep.
Well, Aaron, I appreciate you coming on the show. You showed me and taught me much just by your example. So if you're out there struggling, the answer is open up to someone. If you don't know how to get help, open up to someone, and then do what advice they give you. Don't be an asshole. They say you ask all the questions, but you never listen to anyone. That open up, ask, and then whatever they tell you to do, I'll bet you someone's out there that'll help you. They'll find the resources for you, and then you can take that step, take that jump, so you can change your life, because it's never too late.
Mm-hmm.
Ran into a guy at a meeting, 82 years old, changed his life. Not drinking like 3 years. Dude's a stud. He's just a little old Hispanic guy. He said he had the worst temper, but anyway, but it's never too late.
No, it's not.
Open up, get the help you need. Lionsgate Recovery. I know my buddy Taz, Renaissance Recovery, is outpatient program, which is good. Mm-hmm. There's so many resources. If anyone's out there watching the show and wants to come on, give me a call. If you own a rehab, come on. If you have a story, come on.
Taz Decker.
Taz has been on. He was my first guest.
Was he?
Yeah, he braved the waters by
Nice.
not knowing if it was going to succeed or not, which is cool. Like, share, comment on our Facebook page, Radio St. George Facebook page, and we're going to have Aaron on again, and I'm going to follow him throughout the years, and I think we're going to be better friends than most, and it just because we have simply that love of we've been there, we understand.
Thank you for the time.
Tune in next Monday and have a great day.